with the NFL draft just a couple of weeks away, I wanted to get you guys my New York Jets mock draft 3.0 coming up on today's show. My name is Patrick Siepman, and welcome into the Jets Report by Chat Sports. Now, let's first off just look at the Jets 2025 draft capital. Now, on this mock draft, we're only going to go through the first 5 rounds. So, it being pick number 7, 42, 73, 109, 146, and 162 via the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to try to switch it up on this mock draft. We are going to have some trades, so stay tuned for that. But before we dive into it, I want to get you guys a look at our sub battle against Bills Breakdown here at Chat Sports, and they are on our heels for catching us in total subscribers. They're almost at 3,400. We are closing in on 4,400. So if you guys could go down there, hit that subscribe button, help us increase this gap on our division rival, the Buffalo Bills, and hit that sub button today. All right, so in mock draft 3.0, we're going to have the Jets trading down to pick number 14 with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I talked about this on a previous show where I said I think the Colts could be that dark horse team where they pull like an Atlanta Falcons, Michael Penix type of pick, and they try to trade up for Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, know Jim Irsay, very aggressive owner over there for the Indianapolis Colts. So maybe he's looking at Shedeur as that guy, puts butts in seats. And if he wants to make sure he can go get him with a lot of buzz about Shedeur possibly heading to the Saints at pick number 9, maybe he calls the New York Jets, try the trade up, and this would be the trade package. Jets would get the 14th overall pick number 45, and pick number 117. So for this mock draft, the Jets are going to have 8 picks in the first 5 rounds, and it's going to be pick number 14, 42, 45, 73, 110, 117, 145, and 162. Honestly, a great haul for the New York Jets if they want to start this rebuild and this youth movement here in New York. So at pick number 14 in the first round, I'm going to have the Jets picking up Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. I am a massive fan of this player. I think he's a top 10 just prospect in general in this year's draft class. 6'5", great wiggle, great bend when breaking off these routes, and he's truly a special prospect. And back in the 2021 season when he had J.J. McCarthy throw him the football at Michigan, he was a special player. 117 receptions, over 1,400 yards, 12.5 yards per catch, 11 touchdowns, and 9 drops on the season. Now, the past year, he had some shaky quarterback play at Michigan, so the production is not as good as you would want it to be. But Dane Brugler, one of the top draft analysts in the game, wrote up this about Loveland, and I agree with everything he's saying. He's explosive in releases to quickly enter routes and give quarterbacks a target, can win on slants or posts one-on-one against corners. He's got sticky hands and a ridiculous catching radius and leaping ability, and that was tested by erratic quarterback play this past season. He plays with toughness over the middle, bounces back after hits, and he can leapfrog defenders or use his stiff arm to battle for extra yards. Everything Dane wrote up there, I wholeheartedly agree with. And, if you guys have been watching the show, I've been saying, Tyler Warren, I would love him in the New York Jets uniform next season. But honestly, I think Loveland is on the same tier of prospect as Tyler Warren. Yes, I do think Tyler Warren is a better prospect, but I think both these guys have the potential to be top 5 tight ends in the National Football League. Honestly, I think this tight end class, even though it is getting rated pretty highly, people know how good it is, I almost feel like it's underrated because of Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. Both these guys are going to be studs at the next level. Hopefully the Jets, if they do decide to trade back, that they consider Colston Loveland at pick 14. But what say you? Would you trade back for Colston Loveland? Or would you just stick and pick at pick number 7 and go Mbow or Tyler Warren? Just want to switch it up on this mock draft. But you guys let me know why for yes and for no if you would trade back for Colston Loveland. All right, now we'll fly through the rest of this mock draft here. Round 2, pick number 42. The New York Jets are going to get another player next to Quinnen Williams on that defensive line, and they're going to take Ohio State defensive lineman Tyleik Williams. Now, this guy, he's had an up-and-down draft process. Sometimes I've seen him float in the first. Sometimes I've seen him float in the third. But I think the consensus that he will be a high second-round pick. And this dude just takes on double teams at a high level. He opens up lanes for linebackers when they're trying to get home to the quarterback or trying to get home to the running back. 21 pressures, 22 the year before that, and he's just been very consistent for Ohio State. So I like the pick there. You get another defensive lineman next to Quinnen Williams, and then with our second pick in round 2, we're going to have the Jets targeting a cornerback to play next to Sauce Gardner here, East Carolina corner, Shavon Revel Jr. Now, this guy did miss last year. He only played in 3 games due to injury, but that's all cleared up. The medicals check out there, so really no issues for him, but he's a very lengthy corner. He's got super, super long arms. I mean, honestly, you guys can kind of see it on screen right now. But in the 12 games played back in 2023, he was fantastic. Targeted 43 times, only allowed 19 receptions just for 250 yards and a touchdown, but 14 PBUs, 1 interception on the year, and only allowed a quarterback rating of 61.2. So if you're telling me you get Colston Loveland, you go get Tyleik Williams, and then you go get Shavon Revel Jr. Also in the second round, I think that would be a great haul for the New York Jets. But you're probably asking yourself, well, we got to target a right tackle at some point. Still a very, very big need on this roster. Will you do it in round 3? Pick number 73. The New York Jets draft Purdue offensive tackle Mbow. This guy, he's got some versatility to his game. Very physical, aggressive offensive lineman. And last year for Purdue, playing in 666 snaps, he was solid. Did have some penalty issues, having 7 penalties on the year, allowing 3 sacks as well. But the overall PFF grade, 73.0. Pass block, solid, 68.0. And run block, 77.2. Now, ideally, I would want to take an offensive tackle higher in this year's draft. But I also do like the haul of going Loveland, Williams, and then Shavon Revel Jr. So I would be down the wait for Marcus Mbow in the in the third round, excuse me. However, you could also make an argument the Jets had definitely targeted tackle earlier on in this process. But we also have to get another wide receiver here. And, Garrett Wilson, he'll be the main guy on the outside, but the Jets just kind of have a plethora of third and fourth receiving options. And I think this guy, Kyle Williams, out of Washington State, could be a solid wide receiver too. Chris Sims, pretty solid draft analyst in my opinion. I know he gets kind of shit on for his quarterback takes, but he's always been kind of money at the wide receiver position. He actually had Kyle Williams as his second best wide receiver, only behind Travis Hunter. And this is how his RAS score shakes out. 40-yard dash. He ran actually a 4.40, which was fantastic to see. But he is 5'10", 180 pounds, a little undersized. But this guy, and I feel pretty confident in saying this comparison. He kind of reminds me of Stephon Diggs, the way he moves. Super, super silky route runner. Obviously, Diggs went to Maryland. He was a 5th-round pick. Kyle Williams, Washington State, supposed to be anywhere between a 3rd, 4th-round pick. We just kind of get lucky here drafting him in the 4th round. But I also do truly believe, if the Jets are going to target a wide receiver, this class is actually sneaky deep. And I think you could try to pick one up in the 4th or the 5th round. But we're going to double up on offensive tackle here in the 4th. And we're going to have them take Miami offensive tackle Jalen Rivers. Main reason for this is, you waited till the 3rd round for Marcus Mbow. Just say you double up, go get a guy like Jalen Rivers. And also, this is the benefit of trading back. You'll just have more draft picks to kind of just throw darts at a board. And hopefully, one of them hits the bullseye here. But, Jalen Rivers, not a freak athlete by any means. Only had an RAS score of 6.61, but he is 6'5", 318 pounds. Had 23 reps on the bench. Also ran a 5.29 40, so not a crazy athlete, but he's got pretty good technique. And I think he could be a guy where his floor is pretty high. Maybe his ceiling is not ridiculously high just because of the athleticism concerns here. But I do think Rivers would be a solid pick in round 4. And now, even though I've been saying I don't want the Jets to take a quarterback, if you do trade back and acquire some extra draft capital, I say you go out and get a quarterback, and that guy's going to be Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard. Now, Riley Leonard, is a polarizing prospect at the quarterback position because he's got his dual threat ability. I mean, ran for over 900 yards this past season at Notre Dame, and he was pretty damn good in the college football playoff. If you had to go and pinpoint the biggest question mark on this Notre Dame team this past season, people were all saying Riley Leonard. However, he does have the dual threat ability, and I think he's got more upside than most people give him credit for. Now, would I take him in the 3rd or the 4th? Absolutely not, but in the 5th round, I would be down to take a flyer on the Notre Dame quarterback, Riley Leonard. Now we're going to kick it to another pick in the 5th round, number 162 here. We're going to have the New York Jets drafting a running back, Ollie Gordon II. Now, I understand you got Breece Hall, you got Braylon Allen. But if there's any truth to these Breece Hall trade rumors and that they may be looking to move on, I like the idea of picking up Ollie Gordon, a very physical runner. He reminds me of Latavius Murray. He runs more upright, which some people like that, some people don't like it. I think for Ollie Gordon's game, I do. But this guy just hunts out physical contact. If you go through on his tape, anytime there's a DB or a safety trying to tackle him, he is putting his shoulder down into you, and he's trying to run through your face. So I love the mentality that he has. I love the aggressiveness. And if you could pick them up in the 5th round, late in the 5th round, I think that'd be a steal for the New York Jets. So this is the haul we're getting. Trading back. We are going to have the Jets get Colston Loveland, round 1. Tyleik Williams and Shavon Revel Jr. in round 2. Then Mbow, Kyle Williams, Jalen Rivers, Riley Leonard, and Ollie Gordon. If this is the haul for the New York Jets during the 2025 NFL Draft, you guys grade it for me. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. Friendly reminder, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Help us reach 5,000 subs here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching today's show. See you guys next time. As always, go Jets.